What are the details of Alligator Alcatraz? What defines a concentration camp? And what's the difference between Alligator Alcatraz and a traditional concentration camp? Let's dig in. Alligator Alcatraz is situated on an abandoned airstrip about 50 miles from Miami in the Everglades. Now, technically, it's not in the Everglades, but it is surrounded by the Everglades. And yes, it's surrounded by alligators. It only took them 8 days to build Alligator Alcatraz. Why? Because they're not buildings. According to Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, they're using repurposed FEMA trailers and soft-sided facilities. Now, these are basically like strong tents. Water, sewage, and power will be supplied by mobile equipment. They're already open for business. They already had all the food trucks going in and all the supplies being taken in yesterday. Now, according to the Department of Homeland Security, this facility can house up to 5,000 immigrants, but according to other sources, it can only hold up to 3,000. We'll see what happens with that. Now, Acting ICE Director Todd Lyons said their goal is to only hold migrants there for up to 2 weeks at a time. DHS says this will cost about $450 million per year to run, and they're not even buildings. Are using some funds, so they say, that had been previously allocated through FEMA for migrants to be housed in New York City. But it's interesting, with all the spending that they've been doing with border and security and immigration over the past 6 months, one has to wonder, is there money left? Where's it coming from? There will be over 200 cameras on grounds, 400 security personnel, and of course, the traditional barbed wire. One might compare Alligator Alcatraz to a concentration camp, but what defines a concentration camp? A concentration camp is a facility where large numbers of people, often those declared political enemies or members of specific groups like ethnic or religious groups, are confined against their will, typically without legal charges or proper trials. Concentration camps often run under harsh conditions and disregard legal norms. What does this really mean? It means that individuals are being arrested, detained, and confined without being formally charged of a crime and having access to a fair trial. That's what happens with concentration camps. So per the definition of concentration camp, the Trump administration and Florida Governor Ron DeSantis have now built a modern-day concentration camp in Florida. And it's as simple as that. What's the difference between Alligator Alcatraz and a concentration camp? Nothing. Acting ICE Director Todd Lyons was interviewed by NBC while touring Alligator Alcatraz and said the following, I'll quote, "Our goal is to still arrest and detain the worst of the worst. But if we come across anyone who is just here illegally, we will no longer turn a blind eye to that." Well, as we know, they have already been arresting, detaining, and deporting immigrants without due process and without criminal records. So, I don't believe that. I don't know about you. How do you feel about Alligator Alcatraz? I'll keep you updated for sure, but in my opinion, this is 100% a concentration camp. Please like, follow, and share so that I can continue to provide you with content, and I really appreciate you being here.